Okay, I'm just waiting for YouTube to catch up, but I think we should be live. YouTube is being a little bit slow for some reason. Well, let's hope it actually catches up. I guess I could just try reloading this. Okay, yeah. Seems like YouTube is up as well. Cool. Okay. Let's just open a notepad as well. Okay, so I will start in a couple of minutes. I just need to make sure everything is actually working as intended, because this is the first time I'm actually trying to restream to Twitch. It does seem like things are working, which is great. Okay. Hopefully the chats should be linked, I hope. So if you write in one of the chats, it should reappear on the other chat as well. So I'm definitely watching the chat, so if you have any questions, please do ask. On YouTube, this has been running for a while already. That's why it's called episode 12, because yes, there have been 11 episodes before this. It's kind of a thing I do every weekend. I just sit down for, 3 hours-ish on Saturday and Sunday and code this Sudoku Solver. If you are joining for the first time, the idea is that, well, I want to get a Sudoku Solver that I can use to generate Sudokus. And in particular, I really want this solver to be using human techniques. So writing a basic Sudoku solver is pretty simple. Like, you just use backtracking, and it's for a 9x9 Sudoku, it's good enough. Like, it's not amazingly fast, but like, if you just want to see a solution to Sudoku, you don't really need anything more. You can use like constraint solvers. Those will be very fast at solving Sudokus, because essentially what Sudoku kind of boils down to is you are putting all unique constraints on top of like sets of spaces, and that's a thing that constraint solvers can do very well. They can prune out the possibility space very quickly. So if you just want that, it's very easy, just use a constraint solver. But I kind of want to get to what a human would actually do with the puzzle. So I'm trying to re-implement the human solving techniques. And luckily for Sudoku, like, even the human solving techniques, if you kind of look at them and if you kind of go through the different techniques and look at, okay, like, what does this particular technique do? They kind of boil down to a couple of common patterns, honestly. Like, there isn't... I'm just noticing that my mic is a little bit too hot, so let me just tweak it a little bit. Okay. They kind of boil down to like common categories. It's, for example, actually I can show you that. Right, so if we just go, which was the good site? This one, right? So this is a pretty good site for like reading about Sudoku solving techniques. There is this one. So basically, chains is one technique, but there is a lot of different like sub techniques that people actually use, because the chain technique itself is very generic. But if you want to implement a solver that kind of works like a human, what you would do is actually implement the generic technique, right? It's this is what you can actually implement quite easily. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm slowly implementing different solving techniques into my solver. And so far we do have pretty much everything up to fish techniques. And what I did yesterday was first time I implemented finned fish, which is quite a nifty technique to kind of deal with cases where you almost have a fish and not exactly. But I actually run into some weirdness with my solver. So the goal for today is to kind of figure out, okay, like, do I actually have bugs in the code, or is it just, is it just that some of the puzzles are really hard? And I do have a benchmark. There is a database of Sudoku puzzles that I grabbed from the internet. By the way, I just realized that I'm not actually linking to the code on Twitch. It's actually interesting. I don't know how to fix that very quickly. But I guess I can just give you the URL in the chat. But that will not really help for people coming later, I guess. Okay. So all the code is on GitHub, of course. So let me just pop this in. Yep. So you can just check it out. I do link to the videos of the previous streams. And basically, I grabbed a database of Sudoku puzzles from Kaggle. It's a very nice database. It has 9 million Sudokus, and unlike some other ones that were just generated with very simple solvers that have very easy Sudokus, this one actually does have some quite hard puzzles in it, which is great. Like if you want to really stress test your solver, this is basically perfect. So I'm using this one, and these are the results from like a couple of versions back. I guess I would say 2 versions back. It basically shows you going over the, and I have an off by 1 error when I count the lines, but anyway, ignoring that detail, this basically shows you which solving techniques got triggered how many times. So these are the group techniques, singles, doubles, triples, and quadruples. If you don't know how they work, feel free to ask in the chat. I can explain stuff. But otherwise, it's, if you go, for example, to this site, you can read up on the different solving techniques. Intersections is basically when 2 blocks interact with each other. You can then prune some of the possibilities if basically a number only appears in the intersection, which is a very powerful rule, and as you can see, like it got triggered many times. And then these are the fish rules, and in general, like for even what I would consider hard puzzles, like you should basically be good enough with just the size 2 fishes, which is X-Wing. If you need to use size 3 and size 4, like that's a super hard puzzle. So I'm quite happy with this database. Like obviously I'm not yet able to solve all of the puzzles with just pure logic. Again, the solver doesn't do any guessing at all, it's just pure logic. But we are getting there. So for today, as I said, the goal is kind of figure out if our solver is actually broken somewhere, or if the problem is elsewhere. And we kind of started doing that yesterday. So I started writing this test that basically tests the finned fish. And I managed to find one small bug in my code. But then if I just run the first 10,000 puzzles from the database, I ran into a weird corner case where basically one of my asserts triggered, and that's kind of the thing I want to start with. I want to kind of replicate. So this puzzle basically runs into like a situation that the solver shouldn't end up in. Like there's some sort of contradiction happening here. So I was looking at this particular puzzle, and specifically looking at the number 4 here, there's a bunch of X-wings in this puzzle. So for example, this column, there's a 4 here and here, and there's another column, this one, there's a 4 here and here. So these two columns actually form an X-wing, which means this 4 should not be here at this point. So there's something strange happening with the solver. It wasn't able to eliminate this 4 for whatever reason, so I want to kind of replicate this situation in my tests and to see, you know, if everything is okay or what exactly is broken. So let's try to do that. So I have the fish example here, so let's just create another case here. I guess I can just create a new test case. That's also fine. And again, like if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I definitely welcome that. If you are watching the recording, then feel free to just, you know, ping me on Discord, or you can also ask on the GitHub repo. So, okay, how do we replicate this situation? So we only care about the 4s. So I guess the easiest way to replicate this would be just clean out the 4s from everywhere and then reintroduce them in this particular pattern. So let's see if we can do that easily. So let's just loop over all the elements in the puzzle. And let me just quickly check if everything is fine on the YouTube side as well, and it looks like everything is working. Okay. If like there are any technical issues, like you cannot hear me or something, let me know, please. Because again, first time restreaming, and I'm not quite sure if everything works as intended. Okay. So we will just loop over all the elements and remove the 4 as a possibility. So okay, and then I basically want to reintroduce the 4 into specific places. So we want to have the 4 in row, what was it? This is row 6. Well, 7 technically, but 6 if we count from 0. And column 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'm actually not sure if I implemented plus equals. I would have to check that, but I think that works. Then we have the X-wing, which means there's an X-wing on the line 6, columns 4 and 6. Okay, so let's do that. So 4 and 6. Right, and the top of the X-wing is in line 1 and columns 4 and 6 again. Okay. Why did I do 6 here? It should be 4. Okay. Okay. And then when we basically check it, what we care about is we should have only 4 spaces with the number 4. So, okay, test. ij is possible number 4. Then yeah, I just have a count. And first of all, I want this to be just 4 of them, but I also want to explicitly test that that this one was actually moved. So if I equals 6 and j equals what was it, 3, yes, then I actually want to do require test ij is possible 4 should be false, right? And then after I loop over this thing, I want to do require that count is 4. Okay, let's see if this passes. All tests, yes, okay. Oh, what did I do wrong? So yes, I need to call it something different. Let's just call it actual test, yes. So let's see. Okay, so we definitely have some sort of bug in our solver because it doesn't remove this case. It's curious. Oh, I had a bug here. I'm not even removing the correct number. So no, but it's still. Ooh, and count is. This is very interesting. So this looks like we are like removing way too much, because we basically ended up removing 3 of the 4s, which is really bad. Like that's not what should have happened. Okay, that tells me that there's something broken in our recursive find fish. I guess not recursive find fish, but in the function actually using this. Okay, let's see. There was definitely a way. Yes, okay, I can specify tags. So let's just do that. I really want to just run this one test, but maybe that's not what. Yeah, okay, let's just quickly tag this one with debug. And then in here, I just want to run this one test, so debug. Okay. That should just run this one test case. And if I do this, it didn't trigger on the breakpoint, which is curious. Okay, let's add another breakpoint then. So I want to step in here. Okay. So what happened here? Result. Oh, what the heck? This is very strange. So what this does, it should be searching for X-wings, and somehow it found like 14 of them, but there should only be one. This is curious. So it's really this function that's broken somehow. So what exactly are we doing in the check? So we look at the set and we grab the positions of the number from the set. So this is basically the union of the positions of the number, right? And if the size of this is that is very strange. Okay, let's look at what the heck is happening in this function. So let's stop this, debug again. Okay. Wait, in this one we're looking at columns, or are we looking at... Okay, this one is looking at columns. So yeah, so this one should be the one to actually find the fish. This is very strange. Like, I would think this would... I don't really see what could be wrong here. Let's just continue. Let's do step out. Yep. Oh. It's not exactly. Let's just continue, right? Okay, so now we are looking at 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, yes. So basically all the combinations. Okay, let's quickly go back to the sawfish. Let's run until here, because what I want to see is transfer the actual results in here. So it was 0, 4. It was 0, 6, 1, 4. Okay. Let's just write this down. So it was 0, 4. Can I make this larger? Yes. So it was 0, 4, 0, 6, 1, 4. So I think the pattern is actually like the 6 is 4 and 6 is correct. It just somehow basically the column is correct. Or I guess not the column, this is just a pair of indexes. So the second index is always correct, which is like the 4 and 6 actually do contain the number 4, but somehow the solver is just matching it up with anything, which is curious. Yeah, I mean that's definitely the pattern. And then when we are on the first one is 4, then we kind of match it again with anything on the other side. Okay. So let's go here again, and I basically want to see what happens when we are on 0, 4. So stop this, run this again. Sure. Yeah, I can just continue. Okay. We are at 0, 1, that's not interesting. 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4. Okay, so this is the interesting one. So if I just do this, so number positions for number. So what happens here with positions? Okay, so this is still empty. That is indeed correct. Then if I go over the number 4, oh, okay, now I see what's the problem. Okay, so this code is almost correct. The problem here is that this will match up with rows and columns that don't have the number. Because, so let me just go to my favorite drawing site. I don't have it bookmarked still. Oh, that's silly. Oops, no. What? Okay. Yeah, the puzzle itself doesn't really matter. So if I have, let's say, this kind of situation, I didn't want to, I wanted to do corner, yes. Okay. So if I had this kind of situation, well, what I do in my fish finding rule is I just go and check if, this column and this column together have just 2 positions for number 4. And if I pick an empty column, then obviously, yes, that's the case. So what I actually want to do is This gets tricky. So I definitely don't want empty columns to contribute to this. So the column has to contribute something. And I can kind of, this is a situation that cannot happen because, so the column will not contribute just only one. The column has to contribute at least two. Because if it would contribute only one, then obviously the 4 is actually fixed here. It would be, a normal number instead of just a pencil mark. Because if we have only one option for a Sudoku piece, then obviously it's in that space. So I need to make sure it's not contributing with an empty thing. And if it's contributing with two things, yeah, I think that's actually just it. Okay. Basically here, how do I do it? Let's do it this way. So I remember the count of the number of positions before I add the positions from this, what do you not like about positions.size? Okay, I'm really not sure what's the problem here. Anyway, so if the size is still the same after we have added the thing, then we actually want to return false. Okay. Yes. And I guess we would have the same problem. Yes, we would have the same problem here. So what we want to do again is remember the size, and if before is still the same, then we want to return false. Yes. Okay. Is it complaining that this is size D? Maybe it is. Well, we will see soon. So that might have fixed it. Let's just try to run this again. Yeah, it's complaining about the conversion. Yeah, okay, here I can actually use the size T, that's fine. Okay, let's do it. Well, it's better, but now it's not removing the... Now it's not removing this piece. Actually, let's make it more explicit. So 6-3 should not be possible. Let's just run all the tests. Yeah, and now it's not even pruning this case. Okay, that's curious. So this one, let's go back to the browser. I really want cleaner puzzle. Was it this one? Sure, this looks like a nice background. So, right, so that pattern in particular is basically, we have the ones everywhere. And then we just remove them from the third and sixth row, except for column 3 and 7. So like this. And now we have an X-wing between these 4 things. So this is an X-wing across the rows, which would remove these. So basically, those should be removed. But somehow that doesn't happen anymore now that I fixed the bug. So I guess, so this is over rows, so that will trigger here. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, so this one, okay, wait, now I don't know which test we're actually running. But the result is empty now. Oh damn, no, I didn't fix it. I broke it completely now because this is also wrong. No, I really want to figure out if, yeah, I need to do it differently, completely differently. Okay. I need to call this function. So I need to get the positions of the number for this row or block. And if this is empty, then I return false because that's the bad case. Otherwise, I want to do positions. Is there... Don't remember if there is a way to insert one set into another. Let's see quickly. What operations do we get? It would be either insert. Yeah, I guess only insert. So what can we insert? We can do input iterators. Does that work? Insert post end. Okay, that might work. And basically this entire thing will also be here because that's exactly the same logic. Right. let's see. Did we fix it this time? I mean, okay, so at least the basic test is working. This one is still having trouble. But at least this thing is now actually working correctly, which is good. And the finned one also are working. Okay, so then I really care about this particular case. So I want to go back to just running the debug one. Okay. Let's see then. So this was being triggered on columns. So I want the breakpoint here. Right. So let's step over this, and the result is 3, 4, 3, 6, and 4, 6. Ah. Right, I need to... Okay, yeah, because now I'm triggering the corner case where this is like the example I'm actually testing would not happen in reality, because I have a column that only has one position. But actually, I can fix this straight up in the fish finder. I can just say if it's less than 2, because that's the minimum I care about. And that should actually fix it. Even though, like, that shouldn't really happen in reality. Like, we shouldn't run into this particular corner case. Oh, did it actually fix? Oh, wow, okay. I wasn't expecting that. So let's just see if we fixed it completely. I doubt that, but yeah, the fish rolls are very, very tricky, and especially the finned one that I implemented yesterday. Okay, so we're still getting stuck on the same thing. So I think I will need to redo this example better. Okay. Let's just try to stick the number 4 in all the places where it can go. Because this is such a, like, I really don't understand why it's not triggering on this one. Alright, I can keep this one, that's fine. But... well, okay. Let's actually make it in a orderly fashion. So on the row is 1, we have a 4 in 1, 2, 3, in position 3. Oh, actually, let me just write it down. So this position 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? 8. Then on row 1, this is position 4 and 6. Then row 2 is position 1, and that's it. Then on this row, this is position 5, I think. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes. Wait, what the heck did I just do? Oh yeah, that was the previous row. This is row 5. Yeah, column 5 on the row 3. Then on the next row, we have the number 4 on position 2. That's it. Next line, there's a 4 on position 7. Then the next line, this is positions 3, 4, 6. 3, 4, and 6. Then 1, 2, 3, and 8. And then here is just position 0. Right, okay, so now we just need to inject these. So actually, let me just save this one. So we actually have the source of this madness in the code. Okay. 1 at position 4. Okay. 1 at position 6. 2 at position 1. Then 3 at position 5. 4 at position 2. 5 at position 7. Then 6 has a bunch of them. Okay. Uh, 7 is in position 3. And 8, yes. And finally 8 is on at position 0. Right, so let's look at it again. So there's an X-wing over these two columns. Is there... I think that's it. Although, like, just staring at it, I'm not 100% sure. And this X-wing should remove this 4. We should actually create another X-wing. Yeah, over these two columns then. Okay. I wonder. I just realized one thing. Uh, I might actually be kind of undercutting myself when I run the solvers because I actually do modify the puzzle. But it should be fine because if I just run the solver, so if I just find the fishes in the puzzle, removing all of the affected spaces should be fine because all of the fishes will be valid. So I think that's okay. Okay, back to the test. So what do we have? We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So I think after these runs there should be 13 of them. And yes, this test in particular should be gone. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, so these both pass. That is very strange. That would basically mean that we are doing something wrong in the high-level solver because like somehow this doesn't get cleaned up. Because I mean, yes, like this one correctly removed the possibility. That is strange. The tests are passing. So let's go to the high-level solver. Let's see. So what are we doing here? Okay. We go through groups, size 1, 2, then we do block. Then we do groups of size 3. Then we do fish. Then groups of size 4, another fish. And then we do the finned fish. So how the heck do we arrive at a situation where we... Okay, let's run it again. This is a very curious bug. So, okay, let's run it in debug actually. So this is an assert that triggers in the finned solver. But it basically means that we hit Yeah, so it's this assert here. No, wait, it's actually not the assert that's triggering, it's the segmentation fault. Wait a second. Okay, somehow it goes over the. I might not be building with asserts actually. That might be the problem, but I mean, obviously, it is this case like where we weren't able to find the fin. But the thing is, like again, this puzzle shouldn't have the 4 in here, because this should be already filtered out by the previous iterations, and the test is passing for this, so this is very confusing. Yeah, basically, so these 4 lines should make sure that we don't arrive in this state. I am confused for sure. How do we end up in this situation? Okay, actually, can I have a look at the stats somehow? If we are here, smart solve, right? So, stats. Yeah, I mean, this is basically saying there's literally... What? Block? So many block intersections? Is this thing broken? Is the block intersections broken somehow? Because it's triggering like crazy. This is basically saying that we... Yeah, this is essentially saying that we did... Or are we just not initializing it? That actually might be. So looking at the thing. Where the heck is it? Solve stats. Well, okay, I don't have to do that. Like this. That's probably what was happening actually. But let's do it again. Okay, so let's go back to the Solve Smart. Oh, okay, much better. Okay, so it was just nonsense. Good. But then this is very curious. This is basically saying we got to this situation just doing very basic pruning of size 1, blocks of size 1, 7 times. And then we straight up go to finned fish. Like, how does that even happen? That doesn't sound correct. Actually, let's look at the output again. So it's line 5318. I guess we better go and have a look at that puzzle. Which one was that? It's this one. So line 5318. Is it this one? Let's quickly check. So the output 7. No, that's not the one. Zero, 3, 9. What? What the heck? None of these seem to be matching what I'm doing in this puzzle. I guess we can have a look at, if I go to here, so the 3926 was the previous one. 3926, wait. So now I should be on this puzzle. 2435. What? That definitely doesn't match what I'm seeing here. What the heck? Is something broken with my Sudoku reading routine? Okay, let's investigate that. This is very interesting. So I just used this operator here to read the Sudoku, I think. We don't need the notes anymore. Let's just do this for sanity checking. And then sure, let's just call it debug then. Right. And then what we want is on the Sudoku puzzle, just add here. And we'll initialize this in here. Puzzle div equals debug. Right. Let's see. Oh, this is not the friend of the class. I thought it is. Sure, let's make it a friend. And I guess that means I need to put them up front. Okay. So now I should be able to look at what is the puzzle that we are actually solving. Which was the reason why I did this. Oh, I should be running in debug, not normally. Yeah, debug. Okay. Right. Oh, so we are solving this puzzle. Okay. No, it's okay. It's just I got confused by the zeros. So yeah, this is correct. This is 7 here. Then nothing, and 8. Yeah, okay. So this actually does match. It's just okay. Then we can build a test around this specifically. Right. Something like this. Right. So now this should be done reading. Let's just do a sanity check. So row 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 should be set and 6 value should be 7. Okay. Right. Let's just run it quickly. Yeah, that works. I need to quickly grab something to drink. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. So basically what I want to do, I want to kind of replicate what's happening in the main program when it kind of fails. So let's go back on the stats. So the stats is telling me that we try to solve size 1 blocks or groups 7 times. So basically I want to do that, and then if I print the puzzle I should be in the exactly same situation. So let's go and do that again. So let's just store it here. And actually what I can do is so I expect that this would be the output. Can I just do this? No, almost. Need to do it line by line. Yeah, so I mean, one way to check if this is exactly the state I want is just to oh geez, this is horrible formatting. Yeah, I need to fix that somehow because this is completely unreadable. Well, let's do it like this. Yeah, okay. Don't really know how to fix the formatting, so it's actually reasonable. I guess I will have to live with this for now. Okay, but the idea that I was trying to implement is I can basically check if this is the same as the debug print. So and out.str equals expected, right? So now it should fail because obviously this is not the state that we are currently in. Yep. Let's just check if I at least have the like lines correct, and that actually does look that it's fine. Okay. But basically what I can do now is just do call the solvers. So yeah, okay, let's just do it the super simple way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Oh, but I need to iterate over the box. Let's go back to the main again. Yeah, okay. I need to make it a little bit more fancy. Let's just do this. Let's just break out if nothing changed. Okay. It should be fine. So now it should actually end up with the same. Wow. Okay, do we have some white space? Like mismatch? Oh yeah, there's like, I think there's, yeah, there's a space after that. Okay. So we want to have a space before each of these. That is fine. Okay, let's try again. Still not happy. Where's the difference? And let me look this up. I'm using the Catch framework, so sure, there's a way to do this already in the framework. Like, this sounds like something that should be available. Maybe not. Okay. Well, I guess then what I need to do if there was a way to lock things, but I've already forgotten how to do that. Logging info, yes. So info, okay, let's do this. Wait, so I guess that means we have do the like sizes not match? What is the problem here? Okay, let's see. What the heck? Um, oops. Ah, okay. So there is, wait, there's an actual diff in here that I'm not seeing. So it's a diff in a 4, which, okay, that's quite curious. So let's run it like this again. And we need to spot the diff. Okay, so far I'm really not seeing anything. What the heck? Yeah, I'm not really, like, I'm seriously not seeing where the heck is the diff. Okay, last attempt, because I really, like, I'm completely blind today, or I don't know what the heck is happening, but I really don't see most of them. So if they are different, what I want to do is log log the position, and then yeah, the two characters. So instead of this, I want to do okay. So if this doesn't help, then I'm seriously confused. What? 815. That's how many characters do we have per line here? So that's 9 plus 3 times 9. So divided by 9 plus 3 plus 9 times 9 plus 1, I guess. Let's do modulo this. I have no idea what's going on with the formatting. So okay, this would be line 8, character 52. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 20. No, wait, more. 24, 36. Okay, so somewhere around here. So let's just note this down. And run it again. One, two. So, yeah, okay, so there is a difference. I didn't spot it before. Okay, so the solver removed this for somehow. Is that actually a valid thing? Can this 4 be removed? That's interesting. How would we remove this 4? That actually might be the source of the bug. Because I don't actually see how we can remove this 4. At least not that's like in any way that's consistent with the stats. Because again, this is claiming that it only did the basic block 7 times and that's it. Actually, let's check, does that line up? So let's just count. Interesting. So this one actually did it 8 times. Oh no, but that's actually correct because we only increment. Yeah, we kind of do one extra loop because in the solver itself we only increase the stats if there is an actual change, and on the last loop there's no change. So I mean, I guess I could just do this and then it should return 7. So if the puzzle has a change, then increase the count, and now the count should actually be 7. Yeah, okay. So that's lining up. But how the heck are we removing this 4? That is super strange. I think what I should do now is okay, let's just comment this out for a bit. What I want to try is actually, instead of like manually solving it, since now we kind of confirmed that, okay, this is actually where the bug is. I can just take the solve smart. Okay, I guess it is definitely time. So let's create a solver. Yep. And I guess this will be a static method on the solver. Solve smart. Actually, we want this in the CPP file. I guess let's just put it solve smart solver. Ah, no, not that easy. I need to do a rename like this. Okay, yes. Maybe not. Yeah, okay, there's definitely something broken right now. But that's okay. We can deal with it. Okay, smart solver, public, static, solve, indeed. So this will be like this. This entire thing needs to go into the CPP file. Right. Wait, what the heck happened here? Okay, so this needs I include H and solve stats.h. This I don't think this got updated. Yep. So this needs a smart solver like that. Sure, go ahead. And then in our main, in solve1 Sudoku, we need to do smart solver solve. Right, and I guess we need to include as well. Okay, so things should be wait, it doesn't match it? Why does it not match it? Smart solver, Sudoku. Ah, this thing got also mangled. Yes, like that. Does this still run? Right. Okay, I think it's running now. And since now I split it off, I can actually look at debugging this function. So yeah, it's this one thing that somehow disappears. So I really wonder how that actually happens. So what? Come on, reformat code. Yes. Okay. So I suspect what's happening is when we basically arrive here, and the way I trigger the situation is from my test. Let's just remove the debug from the other ones. So this is the puzzle. Starts. Right, like this. Let's see if this actually works. No, I think I'm missing the includes and everything. Source smart solver and solve stats. Yes. Okay. Okay. Sure. Let's just call it properly stats. That's fine. Okay. Anyway, not sure why it's outputting this kind of weird output, but we have our breakpoint, so we just want to run this. Actually, not like this, like this. So let's try again. Okay, so now let's just quickly check. Yeah, it is our puzzle. And I guess what we care about is specifically oh shoot, I didn't write down which element it was. I need to do that. Okay, so this is row 7, column 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Column 4. Okay. So let's just verify 7 and 4. So the data is 76. Let's grab the calculator, switch it into programmer mode. So 76. So that would be 1, 2, so 3 is there, 4 is there, and 8 is there. Does that line up with our expectations? I think it does. That's, damn it, I have it somewhere. Here, right. With this horrible formatting. We expect 3, 4, and 7. Wait. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, okay, so it matches up. So right now it's in the correct state. The number 4 wasn't removed somehow. So I guess what we want is to just see which one of these actually screws it up. Okay, let's just make it simple on myself. Okay. So let's see, verify that 7 and 4 is still 76. Yep, so this is fine. Intersecting blocks. So let's just jump over the intersecting blocks. Still 76, okay. Blocks of size 3, still 76. Then fish, still 76. I guess I can jump here, that's fine. Then blocks of size 4, still 76. Then fish of size 3, still 76. Then finned fish of size 2, that's where it explodes. Okay, so it actually explodes. So the 4 gets removed as part of the finned fish solving. Okay, that makes it quite interesting. So let's go back to the example because do I have it somewhere run? Okay. So would this be a fin? So it would have to be of size 2, right? Because this is what we are calling here. It's let's go back to the smart solver. Yeah, so this was a fish of size 2. So that's very curious. Let's go back to the output. What would be the fish for which this would be a fin? Ah, so actually yes, because so this column and this column, which was the X-wing I was looking at the very start, this is a fin for that X-wing. I mean, I guess it's not. No, but that's not a proper fin. This would indeed be the fin, but then we cannot remove it because it's the fin itself. We cannot remove the fin itself. Is that what I'm doing wrong? I'm removing the fin. But I should be skipping over the fin. Well, okay, we have narrowed it down quite a lot. So what I can do now is actually, if I go to my solver, I know that it's actually this thing that screws it up. So what I can do, get rid of all the breakpoints, and I will just step through this thing and see what's actually happening. So I don't care about number 1, that's fine. Number 2, that's fine. Number 3 is fine. And then number 4 I want to step into, right? So I am interested in this thing in particular. So go on to here and step over that. Okay, so what's the fin in this case? It's 3 and 6. Okay, let's go back to the output. So 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a fin? Why would that be a fin? Or did I miscount? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's correct. I guess this one. That's very strange. So I can check it in here, 3, 6, right? So yeah, so 6, that's 2 and 3. Okay, let's restart this again. This is turning out to be way more devious than I expected. Index 3, index 4. Okay, now we step in, and I really want to see what the heck happens in this function. So yeah, I want to run until here, and then sure, okay. So the set is 3 and 8. Does that actually make sense? And I guess we are talking about columns in this case. Okay, so columns 3 and 8 for number 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 3 and 8. So this has yes, okay, so this would actually be a finned fish. So we have a 4 here, we have a 4 here, we have a 4 here, we have a 4 here. That's an X-wing, except there's a 4 here. So this is the fin. Oh, is that actually what it was? I was just counting from the wrong direction. Maybe that's what it actually was. It said first this. Okay, done it. So the fin is 3 and 6, but it's 3 and 6 in the other dimension. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and yeah, this is 6. Okay, so it's correct. It's just I was looking at it, rotated by 90 degrees. Okay. And yes, this will actually allow us to remove this one, because this one shares the block with this one and also the X-wing. So that's actually perfectly correct. I guess now the question is like, why does it then fail on the second pass? So far everything is fine. So then if we are here, it's the second time. So we are looking at 4 and 6 in columns. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 is this. So yes, there's an X-wing now. Yeah, the problem is yes, okay, so oh, this is such a nasty bug. Okay, this is a very nasty bug. Essentially what it boils down to is we kind of do this in 2 passes. So we first figure out like all the possible matches for the rule, And then we start going through them and try to actually apply the rule. But the problem is the application of the previous ones can actually break like the assumptions that we have for the future applications. Because what the previous loop of this did, there was a for here, and that got removed. So now suddenly, well, previously, yes, indeed, like if we look at this column and this column, that would indeed again make a finned X-wing, where this would be the fin, but we have already deleted the fin out of the picture, so so I guess there are two options now. Like I can either make sure I actually bail out whenever I make progress. That's option one. Or I can just make sure in the rule application that I'm okay with these cases. I think I have to actually bail out if I apply anything at all. I'm just trying to do a little bit too much. So yeah, so like basically when I get to this point, yeah, so if data JK has changed, I just need to get out. And the same here. Yeah. I wonder if I have the same problem for the other rules as well. I could have the same problem there. So the fins are very particular about what's happening, because if I delete the fin, well, then suddenly like all the assumptions kind of break down. Yeah. I think the other rules are more robust than this, and if I just have a bunch of X-wings, like they don't really interfere with each other. Like even if they delete each other's like presence, that's fine, because we have already done the path and figured out that they are actually valid X-wings or fishes. That's all fine. Yeah. Okay, let's see what happens if I do this. Oh, okay. So now it's not breaking. Let's just run the benchmark. This was a very nasty bug. Let's see if it finishes now. I mean, it's taking a while to run. That's a good sign, usually. Oh, wow, okay. This looks very promising. So, like, first of all, this number just jumped up by a significant amount. So we only have 106 puzzles out of the first 10,000 puzzles that we cannot still solve. I think this was like without the fins, I think I was at like 9,800 something. So this is a big jump. I'm a bit worried that this still isn't 10,000 because that kind of means I need even more complicated rules to implement. But okay, I think we finally managed to narrow down the bug that we were having. Yeah. Okay, what do I do with this test now then? Well, I guess I can just have it solve this puzzle, and I can just copy the solution and check if the solution matches. Right. So what I want is that well, first of all, I want this to return true, and then if I do I don't have a function that would actually check. Okay, I can do it manually, that's fine. String export this, and I can just loop over the puzzle. Okay. And I need to remember an index into the string. So if expect offset minus 0, well, actually like this. So require that this equals this. Right. And then we need to increase the offset. Okay. I don't need all of this garbage. Good. What are you complaining about? Implicit conversion. Oh, like this. Oh, and this needs to be unsigned because I keep forgetting that I did this. Oh, no, that's running the... I want to run the test. Oh, interesting. This is... Now these tests are failing because we changed the way this function actually works. But this should still be fine. Why is this complaining? Oh, and this one is, so this puzzle is still too hard to solve, I guess. Yeah, I might need to comment this out for now. But what's the problem here? Oh, because here we have... Oh, this was the example with the two fishes, wasn't it? Let me see. I need to redraw it again, because I have already forgotten. Was it this one? I think it was this one. But it was the finned variant. So for lines 3 and 7. No, wait. J6. Oh, sorry. Yes, for columns 2 and 7, we removed. Oh, so yeah, this was the slightly different one. Let's just quickly do it. So we removed it from position here, 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 and here, and then, oh, but in, okay. Yeah, okay. So, no, still wrong. Damn it. I cannot read my own code. What the heck is wrong with me? Right, so from columns, let me just fill it up. From columns, all columns but 2 and 6, okay. We remove from lines 2 and 6, right? 2 and 5. So that's basically these, right? Like that. And then we re-edit the 5, 0 here. And we expect that these two will okay. So let me get rid of the colors. So basically we expect these two to be deleted, and this is the fin of this X-Wing. Right. Yes, because what I do now is actually I return on the first one. What I should be actually doing is in here. Oh, which of these loops is it actually? Yeah, okay, I think it's this. Yes. So this is going over the column row. Well, I guess in this case it's the column, yes. So in this case, we go over the column and remove all of the spaces that share a block, which means that that's a thing I actually want to do when I'm removing the collisions. Right, so I basically need, instead of just returning immediately, I need to do should return false, and here I do should return was true, and then after this loop is over, if should return, then return. Right, slightly more complicated, but yeah, this is what I need to do. And the same thing happens here, so I will just copy paste this to here and here. And this should be right. I think that's it. Let's see. Yeah, okay, now our tests are passing. Good. Did that change our entire solver at all? Yeah, okay. I'm starting to be hopeful that this is actually working as intended. Yeah, okay, so that didn't change anything in the grand scheme of things. It's just that for that particular test case that we probably never run into in actual data, we managed to break it. Okay, cool. So since this is really taking some time to actually run through now, I really want to have a look at what's actually taking so long. So for that, let's just go here. Where's our binary? Oh, okay. Right, so this is our binary. What we want to do is run it with this thing. Yes, like that. So this should be the same thing that it does here. Okay. But then I'm covering it up on the screen. That's not good. Okay, I got it. So good. So what we now want to do is perf record, I think. Sure. Oh, copy paste doesn't work. No, it's just it. Did I misspell it? What the heck? I'm starting to wonder if I can actually do it. It might not be possible to actually run perf in Windows subsystem for Linux. I haven't never actually tried that. I hope it works, but this is so weird. If I, this might be a problem. This might not work actually, as it is. Let's do a quick Googling. So, perf SO2. Interesting. Yeah, okay, but this might take a while, I guess. But sure, why the heck not? Yeah. Oh, that's definitely not what I wanted. How do I grab the roll? Okay, this is what I wanted. Yes, okay. Yes, that looks reasonable. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I'm kind of worried that this will take forever to build. Might need to leave this for next week, but we'll see. Maybe it will be fast. Who knows? It was way faster than what I would expect. Okay. Um, mm, oh, wrong button, sorry. It's a bit interesting. I did run perf on like a version way back, so I'm actually very interested in seeing what's changed. Okay. Oh, we don't have debug. Right. Um, um, but we should have debug, like release with debug info. That should be what we are building. I hope so, at least. Okay, let's try again. No, we still don't have debug info. Well then, I guess I just switch it to debug. That's so strange. Oops. Okay. Still nothing. What the heck? Yeah, I think I'm again running into issues with this complicated CMake file. Where was that? That would be in standard project settings. Um, hmm. I mean, I'm definitely adding the project options, but somehow that's not enough. Hmm. Uh, let's do make. Let's try to do this like this. Hmm. Why is this not building with debug symbols? This is so strange. I'm obviously not the only person that has this problem, but mm, Let's see. Let's try again. Yeah, I don't know, like the CMake is somehow not compatible with my mental model of building files. I keep running into issues with it. I kind of expected, like, if I set a thing, it just works, but somehow, no. Still doesn't work. Damn it. Interesting. So it's actually perf that has weird issues with the symbols, because GDB is fine with it. Okay, let's try this. Okay. Permission denied. What? Um, it's really perf is screwing up somehow. I wanted to figure out how to properly install perf. Because this is not really working well. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look on this thing again. I think I will just get to run this on a proper machine, proper Linux machine, because this is kind of not amazing way to do it. But yeah, I will not be able to do that today, I don't think. Okay then, I guess that's it for today then. How long have I been streaming? Yeah, sure, that's about okay. So yeah, I think I fixed the Fint version of the solver. I will try to figure out the performance offline, because yeah, I need to figure out what to do with the perf, if like where exactly will I run it. Okay, actually let's try this one. Where's it? This. Let's see, this looks like a slightly different version, so let's just try it with that one. That's yes, okay. And yeah, if this doesn't work, then yeah, I kind of need to figure out a different solution. Ooh. Okay, it's just not getting demangled. I guess I want this. Oh, okay. Demangle. Says it's enabled by default. Okay, but it's obviously not. Okay, there's something. Yeah, there's still something wrong. But yeah, okay, I think I will need to figure this out offline. But yeah, I think there's some sort of conflicts between the perf version and other things I have installed. I think the perf version isn't really compatible with the mangling somehow. I'm not sure why, how that happened, but happens. Because yes, like obviously this should be demangled, but they are not getting demangled for whatever reason. Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, time for me to go then. I do stream this series every weekend, always starting at 2:30 p.m. Central European time. I guess right now it's Central European summertime. And yeah, hopefully see you later, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to just ask them on the Sudoku repository. I will just post the link again for the repo. And yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions, and see you later.